All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakakadash. The honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect, pushing the word across the four corners of the earth, risking your life to do so. Excuse me. And I'm the brother Shaman of the Chicago branch of Great Millstone, just pushing the warning to the flock. And be careful what you post on social media. You shouldn't even have just be careful. Right? You shouldn't have your real info linked with your ministry stuff. If you're wise, but everybody gonna do what they do. I've seen a lot of it, but you have to understand how to separate things, business from the Lord's business. Right? At the job, you shouldn't be talking about anything that's gonna get you in any kind of trouble. Right? And this is something that Edomites have done for years. The same Edomites who show up where you work at, they'll be all nice to you, smiling all in your face. And of course, you got the fake ones too, but they'll do that, then they'll go home and jump on 4chan and dump on Twitter and talk about how dumb you are and how much they hate you. All right? You got to be wise, man. Proverbs 1:4, it said to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. So you got to be discreet. Right? We're doing these videos. We're just reading out of the Bible. We're reading the words that were written, thousands of years ago. And we believe in the scriptures. And that's a private belief. It doesn't have to be shared. It doesn't have to be documented. All right, but check this out. DHS is retweeting some young guys who got online, making a video or something. And they said, we'll see you cowards soon. Yeah, which we're in Jacob's trouble. It starts with the northern kingdom, and the worst of it's going to come to the southern kingdom. And that's a media narrative they've been pushing for a long time. What about black on black crime, and what about violence in Chicago? And which, hey, it is a lot of murderous shit going on. Right? It's a lot of lawless and destructive behavior. I just, even doing this video, a nigga just pulled down the street with a blunt in his hand with a child on his lap. I just saw that shit. That shit just fucked me up. All right, but said make him famous. Somebody stole his video and edited it. So you got people going back and forth, right? And here's his account. I'm gonna just let him talk.
Yeah, on my comments, and I randomly get a text message talking about a recent video that was posted on my account. I was like, what are y'all talking about? By the way, I'm sick, so if I sound weird, yeah. I get threats daily on IG and everywhere all over my social media all of a sudden due to an old video I posted months ago about Iran. That was not to be a threat. It was literally a joke, bro. Like, seriously, it's just
Which these people ain't joking. Right? 1 Peter 5:8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And we know who the devil is. Revelation 12:9, that great dragon, right? The old serpent, the devil, Satan, Leviathan, the piercing serpent, the crooked serpent. This is all talking about Esau. Right? Oh, I don't think I unpaused it. 1 Peter 5:8, be sober, vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And we know who that is. Right? It's talking about Esau, Satan, the devil, the serpent, the dragon, Leviathan. They're not joking with you. They're seeing their empire come to a close. They're seeing now basically they've been cheated by their elites out of everything. How 1% owns 90% of every fucking thing. These Edomites are mad, and they're looking for somebody to blame. All right, and that's why a lot of things are about to begin. And you don't want to get caught up, and ultimately the scriptures talk about that. They're gonna be a false witness unto us anyway. But that's what you want it to be, a false witness, and not some stupid shit that you said, out of emotions or something. Just read the scriptures, right? And qualify everything. This is why this is being said. This evil place is talking about this. And make sure you have people to understand the scriptures say, wait upon me, and I will rise up to the prey. Right? Ultimately, it's Yahweh Bashim Abishai that's gonna do everything. That's why it says in that day it should be so terrible. Michael should be called, and the angels. Right? So you'd have to even believe in all of that just to to even qualify what we were saying to be true. If you don't believe in that, then there's no point in you watching these videos. All right, but back to this guy. There's a young guy. And I'm glad that we didn't have access to the internet like that, back in the early 2000s and stuff, because Jake is reckless, man. They'll just say anything. And it's about to get you in a situation.
Once I seen that video that was posted on my account, then I was like, what the fuck? Well, didn't I post this like months ago? Then I seen the caption. And then I was like, wait, I didn't do that. I still got the video saved on my draft from months ago on TikTok, bro. I'm gonna pull it up right here. Now here's the fucked up part. The federal government is involved for something that I didn't do. Like what? So this is what they reposted off my TikTok. That video got taken down. So here's what they reposted on their page. Now that video is going crazy as hell on Twitter, bro. Now I'm a threat to the government for something that I didn't do, bro. Now I'm being called a wannabe YN, a wannabe gangster over a video that I didn't caption or I didn't post. So thanks for my followers for letting me know about this.
But if you listen to him, he said he did post it and it just got taken down. So did they throw that caption onto it? It's a little unclear, but it sounds like he posted it. It got taken down, but then somebody recorded it or somebody downloaded it, and then now they're bringing it back up later. I'm not for certain. I wasn't exactly there.
So this is what they reposted off my TikTok. That video got taken down.
They say it got taken down.
Here's what they reposted on their page. Agree with it. But it wasn't really aware with the caption. The caption for the Iran video. But that Iran video trend that was going on a few months ago, I wanted to hop on that trend. And I peeped a lot of people was doing the same thing too. So I wanted to be creative and change my perspective. So then I seen comments saying, what if somebody made a YN type of video? So then I ended up making that video. And then I started getting threats. Like, what? How is it my fault? That's what y'all wanted.
Okay, so he did. He was following the trend. He made a video about Iran and then just reused it and do some shit about ICE because it was a trend, with that too. Right? And see, you got to be careful, man. These people have this technology. They can pull up old shit. Anything you put on the internet, once you put it up, and that's why we screen everything, before you upload, watch it over. We watch, man, and document things and make sure, man, that we're being seasoned when we're speaking and we're using the scriptures, because we're coming in that time where they're going to try to label us with that T word. All right, you have to be subtle. You have to watch what you say. Yes, the righteous is bold as a lion. That's a characteristic shown. But then, also, wise as a serpent, as the scriptures talk about. In Matthew 26 And 57, it says, and they that had laid hold on Yahushua led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled, which this was Jake. It says, but Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now the chief priests and elders and with all the council sought false witness against Yahushua to put him to death, but found none. Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet found they none. At the last came 2 false witnesses, and said, this fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of the Most High, and to build it in 3 days. And the high priest arose and said unto him, answerest thou nothing? What is it which these witness against thee? But Yahushua held his peace, and the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living power, that thou tell us whether thou be the anointed, right, the Messiah. I don't see that C word, the Son of the Most High. Yahushua said unto him, thou hast said. Nevertheless, I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. All right, so he spoke the scriptures. Everybody else is lying on him. He spoke the scriptures, but what they couldn't do is they couldn't trip him up on what he was saying, because he was seasoned in his speech. All right, everything the Lord said actually happened. So we have to make sure that we're being seasonable, not just putting shit up to be edgy or sound tough. Just put the word up. The word does the heavy lifting. All right, the word is going forth. The word is condemning this place. And that's why it says, Matthew 10 and 14, and whosoever shall not receive you nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. Verily I say unto you, it should be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. And that's what this place is full of. Right? This is the primary place of deliverance, all right, where you have the prophets in multiple cities speaking, and that word is being a stumbling block and a snare to the wicked. All right, because now you guys have refused it, denied it, took away from it. Just let the Bible speak. We want to be found, doing the will with false witnesses. This is Psalms 35. And 6, let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. See, when angels get involved, it's over with. Right? The angels encamp around the elect. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. For without cause have they hid for me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he hath hid catch himself. Into that very destruction let him fall. Right, which is about to happen to the nation of Edom. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord, it shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like unto thee, which deliverest the poor from him that is too strong for him, yea, the poor and the needy from him that spoileth him. False witnesses did rise up, they laid to my charge things that I knew not. They rewarded me evil for to the spoiling of my soul. Exactly. But that's what we're saying, man. Lord, who is like unto thee, which deliverest the poor from him that is too strong, yea, the poor and the needy from him that spoileth him. Right? We continue to pray this prayer. But don't give them any ammunition. Be wise, be seasonable. You got a lot of people protesting in downtown and marching, which the scriptures talk about that, uproars of the people, insurrection. Now you got to know how you moving out here. They're so crazy with it. They got their flags up. These people know exactly where to come. Take the flag down. You know the flags I'm talking about. Take the flag down. and just, move wisely. Right? And may Yahweh Shema Shai and his angels encamp around the elect, which they will. That's why it says, you read down to verse 26, it says, let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at mine hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. I see the forces that they're putting against Jake, they're about to go at each other. They're about to go at each other. Right? And we're not going to give them any ammo or any reason to persecute us. Right? Isaiah 29:19, the meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught, of nothingness. He ain't shit. All right, but it says what? Therefore, thus saith the Lord, who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob. Jacob shall not be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale. All right? And his face waxing pale, that's synonymous with shame. He's not going to be ashamed. Yeah, Jacob's trouble is going to be there, a time like never before, but the Lord is going to deliver us out of Jacob's trouble. All right, but you gotta watch how you move, man. The power of life and death is in the tongue. All right, just teach the scriptures and let the Lord do the rest. Call Allah Yahweh Shema Shalom to the elect.